the IT hub of India, well, set to breathe a sigh of relief as it continues to grapple with the infrastructure mess around it. On March 25th, the metro line between KR Puram and Whitefield will be inaugurated, and a day later, it will be made open for the public. Now, the line, which is 13 kilometers long, is part of the Nama Metro project phase 2 and will be flagged off by Prime Minister Modi, while much to the delight of Bangaloreans who can finally plan their travel, not keeping 2 hours in their hands. But it is the season of elections, and therefore there are attacks, counter-attacks, rallies in Karnataka. As I said, elections around the corner. So how can politics be far behind when it comes to inaugurations? The Congress party is slamming the BJP for going on an inauguration spree without actually developing the project, only for electoral gains. Randeep Singh Surjewala of the Congress party, speaking in Bangalore today, asked the Bommai government what was the rush to inaugurate this metro line when several aspects of it are either not checked or complete. Essentially, the Congress is making the accusation that the Prime Minister is desperate to inaugurate ahead of the elections. They're also saying it's okay to inaugurate, but why are you inaugurating incomplete projects and trying to make a fool of the people of Karnataka? Listen in to what Mr. Surjewala has said.
This quackery of inaugurating half-baked projects continues. Now on 25th March 2023, PM Modi will be inaugurating a metro line from nowhere to nowhere. It is discontinuous, as I said, it is disjointed and it is disconnected. The only yield will be a media event for Prime Minister and Bharatiya Janata Party.
The Bengaluru-Mysore Expressway, which was also flagged off the Prime Minister, was flooded after a brief rain spell. So that is a project that is under the Congress's radar as well. Citizens and activists are complaining that the expressway is flooded because of the rush by the government to inaugurate it, despite it not being ready. But why is that why is it that important projects are rushed? The easy answer is elections. There is no denying the Modi factor has worked very well for the BJP, and the BJP will lose no opportunity to milk his visit to the poll-bound state for further political gains. In fact, in the past 3 months, Prime Minister Modi has visited Karnataka at least 6 times, be it meeting with his party cadres or inaugurating projects in the state.
While the citizens of Bengaluru are sure excited for the KR Puram to Whitefield metro line, which is a part of the elevated section of the purple line of the metro in Bengaluru city, the fact is that politics has erupted over this entire issue. Yes, while the Prime Minister is all set to inaugurate this line in just a couple of days now, and you can see all sorts of decorations that are being put up over here at the metro station. You have, in fact, the ribbons that are being put up. We're, likely to be seeing it further decorated in the upcoming days. The fact of the matter is that the Railway Safety Commissioner of the Southern Division of Bengaluru, or the Metro Railway Safety Commissioner, had in fact submitted a report to the BMRCL on the 27th of February. Now, in this report are several issues that have been listed out that need to be rectified, and a compliance report of the same needed to be submitted to the railway authorities before the inauguration. Now, we did a check from inside, and we'd like to also, of course, give you a ground check of how the situation is outside. There are, of course, about 4 days now left for the Prime Minister to come down to inaugurate the metro station. And here you're seeing is, in fact, the outside of the station. And now this is, in fact, an entry of the emergency exit to the station. Now, in a report that was given by the Railway Safety Commissioner, one thing that was mentioned was that all construction material must be cleared from the emergency evacuation walkways, and the fact that even on the platforms, these construction materials must be cleared. Here what you see, in fact, is, of course, 4 days prior to the inauguration of the metro line that you still have construction material lying around here. That apart, on the outside as well, there is still a lot of work that's yet to be done. Now, while what the Congress claims, of course, is partly true here from our ground check, other aspects of this do seem to be rectified. Now, inside the metro station, there were several aspects like the CCTV cameras that had to be fitted. You also, in fact, had to have the elevators and the escalators up and running. Now, those are aspects of this letter by the Railway Safety Commissioner that have been complied with, and there are still a few more that need to be complied with. Now, whether this will be completed or not in the next 4 days is something that we'll keep an eye out on. But the fact of the matter still remains is that the entire matter has turned highly political over here, with the Congress tearing into the government again. In Bengaluru, with video journalist Sunil, this is Neha Hebale for Mirror Now.
A quick chat with my guest this evening. Anand Gurumurthy is spokesperson of the BJP. Lavanya Ballal is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Sandeep Anirudhan is an old friend of Mirror Now, founder of Citizens Agenda for Bangalore. And Madhavan Narayan is a senior journalist joining us on the broadcast. Lavanya Ballal, a metro line is being inaugurated in your city, in the city of Bangalore, which God knows can do with not one but multiple metro lines. Why crib? Why say the Prime Minister is inaugurating incomplete projects?
If you look at the metro line, the line is not connecting from Bayappanhalli to KR-Puram, but the current line that he is inaugurating is from KR-Puram to Whitefield. Now, when there is no connection from point A to B, but you're inaugurating the line from B to C, the question arises, why are you doing that? Right? The BJP has in response saying, the BMTC is going to provide buses. If you look at Bangalore's BMTC buses, we are short of 8,000 buses in Bengaluru. Now, also, the Railway Commissioner found 58 infra gaps, deficiencies, and public safety issues. If you remember, early this year, the first week of January, we had a software engineer who was riding a bike with her husband. And, the mother and child died. Half the family was wiped out because the metro pillar, fell on top of them. And a week after that, the BRCL employees themselves demanded an inquiry into, the safety measurements of these metro pillars and everything. Now the question is, Prime Minister Modi ji can inaugurate anything, right? He can inaugurate this infrastructure even after elections. So the question is, what is the hurry to inaugurate this before it is ready? If you look at it, Patandur and the Kadugodi stations do not have access doors yet. This is 4 days before the inauguration. You still do not have doors as well. So there are multiple safety issues in place. So what is the hurry? Look at the expressway they inaugurated for Mysore, Bangalore. Even before the inauguration, there were complaints of, the way it is designed. There are problems with the designs because there are multiple accidents happening there, right? Why was the expressway inaugurated without the storm drains in place? It is a taxpayer's money after all. Prime Minister can inaugurate it at any point of time. We have no issues with that. Only question is, what is the timing? Like, why now? Why can't it be after elections?
Anand Gurumurthy, why the hurry?
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you one thing, okay?
Okay, Lavanya.
Coming
Anand
on
Gurumurthy,
national
the question
TV,
is, and what the Congress is saying is, why the hurry? Why the
I
hurry?
will tell you one thing.
Why rush
Coming
into
on
something,
national TV
inaugurate
and
something that is not even
Bengaluru,
complete?
Blistering and all other Karnataka places has become the choice of Congress spokespersons. They should avoid this at least during election season. Please understand, you could not do any work during the times when you were elected and you had prime ministers. And at that point of time, when 4 stations were inaugurated in 2011, Kamalnath ji had come, your own Congress person Kamalnath ji had come and inaugurated it along with Sadanand Gowda. Why didn't you have this question then? Okay, and the second thing is, this station connects a very important point to another very important point where software engineers are daily suffering, working hard to pay their taxes and suffering from ages, Lavanya Ballal of Congress. Please understand this, okay? And one more thing, very important thing, okay? Don't connect issues which have happened elsewhere with issues which are happening here and then try to show an emotional cord here. This doesn't work anymore, Lavanya Ballal. You need to work. You need to put foundation stone and then finish the project also. And projects are finished in phases. You need to understand this. And every congressman and women need to understand this. And instead of that, just, talking bad about Bengaluru has become the choice of Congress people, which is very, very sad. And regarding the Mysore Highway 2, okay, that was because of certain things done by some villagers to connect their village, which was cleared within a day. Now, this is what is important, Lavanya Ballal, for you to understand and for all Congress people to understand, including Mr. Surjewala, that things happen at breakneck speed. And also, if there are any issues, they are also resolved at breakneck speed, which can never happen with Congress. It can never take India forward. And now you have also proven it with your Bharat Jodo Yatra, that all you can do is walk, don't talk nonsense, and at the end, play with your sister. That's what can happen with Congress people.
If I may quickly respond.
Okay. Lavanya, I can give you 30 seconds to respond. 30 seconds.
Yeah. No, breakneck speed is not what is important. Safety of people's life is much more important. People's
Lavanya
lives
Ballal,
are
please
precious.
let me tell you, all safety precautions have been taken. What happened in Congress school, everybody knows. How many people died because of negligence of Congress,
Anand,
everybody knows.
You will have
Don't
to let Lavanya speak.
Without having data in your hand.
Anand, let Lavanya speak. Let Lavanya speak.
I think we just saw on camera the kind of safety issues that are existing in these stations right now. And that is a concern for us. We have no issues with the Prime Minister inaugurating the station. Like I said, he can inaugurate the station once the structure is complete and there are no safety hazards for people's lives. Thank you.
Stop telling this incomplete.
Okay.
Go and visit
Okay, both of you.
Take your Ranveer Surjewala also to visit.
Give me a minute. No.
And please stop telling some lies on national TV as a spokesperson of a national party.
Okay, just a minute. Let me get in the other two guests this evening, Sandeep Anirudhan and Madhavan Narayan. Madhavan Narayan, it's an election season. Obviously, the Prime Minister will come and inaugurate projects in Karnataka. No need to take umbrage of that. I mean, he's the Prime Minister. The BJP is in the fight in these elections in Karnataka. Inaugurations inaugurations during election time are as old as ancient history.
Yes, Shreya, but we live in very interesting times. And let me first say that there was a time when foundation stones used to be laid and then claims used to be made politically based on that. I'm glad my India has come at least some far where the political campaign is taking place closer to actual completion rather than just foundation stone stage. But let me give you three perspectives on this, all of which would be very interesting because I want this to be going beyond the usual tutu meme that happens in your TV panel. First thing is, as they say in Delhi, dal mein namak chalta hai, namak mein dal nahi chalta, which basically means that you can put salt in the meal, but not meal in the salt. So if the completion of this project is only weeks away, and that weeks include safety certifications as well as clearing all the garbage or rubble out there, and there's actually a finally certified ride taking place on the inaugurated line, then Mr. Modi might have hit. But Karnataka is a highly aware state politically, and particularly Bangalore. You made me nostalgic because I spent 5 years in Bangalore and I've seen the airport from start to finish. I was there from when it was just an idea. So Bangaloreans are extremely aware of infrastructure issues, and the IT industry, it's a global capital in many ways for technology. And therefore, if Mr. Modi and BJP do something on the wrong foot, let me assure you that they will be ripped apart. And the Congress is more confident in Karnataka than I have seen in decades in any state, actually. That is saying a lot, right? Not counting perhaps Rajasthan. So that is going to be very significant. It's a risky stroke being played by Modi and BJP, but it's par for the course in politics where claims are made. But if Shimoga Airport is not yet ready, and if the Bangalore-Mysore Expressway is still having flooding problems. And if the Whitefield metro line is not yet ready, in that case, I think it can boomerang on BJP if they don't actually deliver close to the voting date. But if they actually deliver and it is safe, then they have hit a risky winning shot in this election to the extent that it can work in votes. Second thing I want to say, which is slightly more national in perspective,
and what
is that Mr. Modi realizes and the BJP has realized that Hindutva politics and simple anti-corruption rants do not work anymore. And therefore, they are betting big on what I call muscular infrastructure as a deliverer of votes for the BJP. We've seen that in UP when lots of airports and expressways were inaugurated and announced.
Correct.
So this is part of BJP's nationwide political strategy to show itself as the creator of development. But you know, I've seen the Delhi Metro grow, and therefore it happens in phases, and every party which is in power can take credit. Normal protocol demands that even the previous chief ministers are summoned to the inauguration, but that's not happening because we are living in an age where everything is being converted into politics, from the recognition of national parties to the use of enforcement directorates. To that extent, it's becoming a bitter fight, and no party wants to let go of the fight. And what surprises me is the energy of the Congress party in Karnataka, which is in stark contrast to the lack of energy we found in UP and a couple of other states. And that is very significant for me.
It's a good thing.
Energy as a definer for 2024.
It's a good thing if
It's a good thing if it is logical. If it is illogical,
if the Congress is putting.
It's a good thing if it is logical. If it is
how is it illogical to question the government? It's the job of the opposition.
As Mr. Madhavan put it in a very nice way.
But Mr. Gurumurthy, it's the job of the opposition to corner the government. That is exactly what the Congress is doing.
If we are delivering, then
and if you are delivering, people will see it and vote for you.
Now that it has been delivered, Shreya, now that
absolutely.
So people are accepting it, and that even Congress has to accept. Why are they trying to spreading news? Okay, I tell you something very simple. One more thing, okay, Congress does. It comes up with a guarantee scheme in Karnataka, and it says we will give you 200 this thing, current free, this free, that free. And that. Why they haven't done it in Rajasthan? Why they haven't done it in Rajasthan, where they're in power from so many years? No, they can't deliver anything like that. That is because Congress is a party of lies. It is totally becoming illogical and can talk anything coming in media, but in parliament they can't answer simple questions which are being posed at them, though they are the opposition. Simple questions. Why are you going and talking nonsense in other countries?
But Anand Gurumurthy, it is the government which is not letting parliament function this time. We have a very curious situation where the government is not letting parliament function this time. Sandeep Anirudhan.
Member of parliament of this country. Simple question.
Give me a minute. Let me.
Here, Shreya. 1 minute.
I don't want to. This is not a debate on Rahul Gandhi. Don't digress.
No, I'm asking.
Next, you'll be bringing in Amritpal Singh as well. Let's not digress. Let's not digress. Let's just keep. I mean, I don't want to talk about Parliament. It was adjourned for the seventh day today.
Let's go to the
seventh day today. I mean, it's shameful what is happening in Parliament. Sandeep Anirudhan, when you watch the headlines, when you watch the Congress press conference that happened today, where the Congress saying the Prime Minister is desperate for inaugurations, he likes to inaugurate half-baked highways and a metro line to nowhere. What is it that you think to yourself? I mean, I know that for the people of Bangalore, at least, infrastructure should be, I don't know if it will be, but should be a big vote point. But what do you make of this tutu meme between the political parties over infrastructure? I would say it's good. We are at least talking about the right things, and we are not talking about Tipu Sultan or Savarkar. We are talking about infrastructure. It's good.
Yeah, I should thank Congress for waking up. If they had the same sort of constructive opposition for the last 3 years, the metro might have completed a year in advance. The problem is they wake up only during elections. And BJP is also doing their own thing only during elections. So I think what's all this noise right now is only optics and audio bites. As a citizen, what I'm really concerned about is this. The government wants to inaugurate a metro line in a hurry. There's a big gap in between of about 2 kilometers. So effectively, it's not going to be a real connection. Now, of all the stations that are present on this line, visually, they are all incomplete. If you stand in front of a station, it looks like it is incomplete, still under construction. So primary concerns for citizens are, if they are rushing it in 4 days and completing it, are they going to be serious about quality control? Are they going to be serious about safety? Technically, is it being checked? When the brick and mortar construction itself is incomplete, what about staffing and training? Are the people who are going to be in there, are they trained? Are they properly qualified? Will they be able to run the show? Now, this is a serious worry. I have no problem with Narendra Modi coming and inaugurating it this week. I have no problem. I'm sure he'll be Prime Minister after 3 months, so I don't see what the rush is. He can come again after 3 months and inaugurate it, but that's okay. Let him inaugurate it whenever. But let them not run the trains if it is not ready. Let them run one dummy ride for the Prime Minister and let him go back to Delhi. But let citizens not be exposed to any kind of harm or danger. That is our only request of the government. Let them do whatever else they want. The other problem is this gap of 2 kilometers. Now, the BBMP will have to bridge that gap. Every metro will have about, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 passengers. If they have to be putting buses between these two stations, you'll need a huge number of buses. Now, as it is, BMTC runs a very inefficient service. If they have to pull away buses from elsewhere to run this bridge service, then overall, the entire city will suffer for just running this gap. So that is another problem. And the big thing is this. See, from 1980s, we are waiting for mass transit connection. There are simplest things that could have been done, like the suburban rail way back. But we waited for 40 years. Whitefield and Electronic City are the actual choking zones of Bengaluru. These should have been the first lines to have actually been commissioned. Then Bengaluru would have been decongested. Instead, it's being done last. We waited for 40 years. We'll wait for another 3 months, because in 3 months, BMRCL says they'll inaugurate the entire line, including the gap. Then we can wait for another 3 months after 40 years. There's no rush, because we waited for 40 years. So don't expose citizens to any dangers just because the politicians want, photo opportunities and announcements and stuff like that. That is our only concern. Everything else is okay. Let them make announcements, let them do inaugurations, let them cut ribbons, let them put balloons. But citizens should be safe, because we already have the highest number of traffic accidents. We have the highest number of potholes. We already have a lot of accidents in metro. Metro, by far, among all other infrastructure, is better quality than the rest. But even metro is not reliable these days. So we don't want any disasters. Thank you.
Okay,
I just want to
Anand, I'll give you the last. Since the charges have been made against you, Anand, again the simple question is, why could it not have been inaugurated when the entire line was ready?
Wait a second.
Why do it again in a hurry?
See,
It's something that Anirudhan is talking about. It's something Lavanya is talking about. It's just a logical question. It's yes, the Congress made it political,
then
but it's even a logical question to ask, right?
Yeah, all this is like this, okay? What phases need to be inaugurated? They get inaugurated. 4 stations were inaugurated in 2011 when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. Why it was done? See, all this is something, we can keep asking questions saying that, okay, why don't you connect the airport with the entire city and then inaugurate everything? All this is fair enough, okay? Questions come and the inauguration is happening.
Anand, visit those stations.
Mr. Sandeep, I'm answering you. Mr. Sandeep, please wait. I'm answering you. I just want to assure you, your concerns are addressed. It's a BJP government in the state and at the center. Safety, security of the citizens is our primary concern, just like you expressed, and it will be taken. And that's all was your concern, and I have answered this on national TV, and all our leaders are responsible enough to take it to the next stage. Okay, thank you.
Shreya?
Anirudhan, you wanted to say something, then I'll get Lavanya in. Anirudhan, go ahead, 10 seconds. You wanted to say something.
Just making statements is not enough. Come stand in front of each of the stations. They look like ruins. They're not completed. And what they're doing is a rush job. So when rush jobs happen, we are not...
It is a very important infrastructure of our city. Don't be a citizen of the city and call it ruins. It's very bad.
Anand,
Let me say something.
Why? He is a citizen of this city, and he can say what he wants to about his city as long as it's the truth, Anand Gurumurthy. What? You're not even supposed to speak the truth on national TV now. Has that also does that make you anti-national, Lavanya?
No.
Lavanya, I'll give you 10 seconds.
It's not ruins, Sandeep. Come on. It's not ruins. Daily, you are also using metro and...
Arey, ruk jaiye. Ab next you will say Sandeep is being anti-national. Haan, boliye. Lavanya, go ahead.
Shreya, I just
Lavanya,
wanted to
10 seconds. I have to wrap this chat. Yeah.
Shreya, I just wanted to say there have been a lot of personal comments by the BJP spokesperson, but he's not answered if the 58 railway, the concerns found by the railway commissioner has been addressed. He's not answered if Kadukodi and Patandur stations have access doors yet. He's not answered the other, panelists' concerns about the safety issues. And as a taxpayer, I think we can question why the infrastructure is still not in place.
I've already answered. Give me
Nalin Patil had told us in December to focus on love jihad and not on infrastructure. This is the BJP party president of Karnataka.
Again, you give time to her to tell all these things, but not time to me. Okay, it is very important. Okay, to assure.
This is unfair. This is unfair. No, this is unfair. I have given you as much time as I've given Lavanya. Come on. Acha, I zero time now. Madhavan Narayan, you have your hands up. Yes, you do. 10 seconds, please, because I'm really out of time. Go ahead. I have to take a break.
I have a task for Miller
10
now.
10 seconds, Mr. Narayan.
Yeah, 4 days before voting for Karnataka elections, please send your reporter to find out if Whitefield Station and all metro safety aspects have been addressed and an actual ride has taken place, fully certified, not the showcase ride. If that happens, then BJP can claim witness. Otherwise, you can always have the party roasted in your show.
Perfect.
All right.
I'd
leave it there for the
please,
moment. I'm glad everyone is going away from the show happy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you. Good night. Slipping into a quick break on the show. There's more coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.